Hey everyone, and welcome to the RBG Sports Channel with your boy RBG talking your commanders. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please make sure you hit that notification button so you will be informed when I drop the latest and greatest content. And thank you to the people that just subscribed to my channel. Nothing without you guys, as I always say, on the road to 1,000. Let's talk about them sorry commanders off the break. They stink. The Commanders stink, ladies and gentlemen. They're an awful football team. The coach is bad. The defense coordinator is bad. Irk Bieniemy is bad. Terry McLaurin is bad. Brian Robinson is bad. You name it. Deron Payne, Allen, bad. Benjamin St. Juice. You is terrible, despicable, disgraceful. Stop doing that stupid old lock arm thing you be doing, man. You look stupid out there doing that. You're not even worthy of doing that. You're not even worthy of being a starting cornerback in this league, period. You're like a third or fourth string on the team, fourth wide receiver. You're not even worthy of checking the team number one, number two wide receiver, or even number three. How dare them to even trot you out there, man? You're miserable, despicable, disgraceful, you know what I'm saying? Unworthy of even being on the field at times, man. I swear to goodness, you're terrible, man. God awful. You know what I mean? You gets beat, turned around, can't stay with the wide receiver, can't cover him on short distance, can't cover him on long distance. The guy overthrew the guy twice, had to step on you, and you out there celebrating. What are you celebrating for? You celebrating that you got beat? You know what I mean? You're lucky you got the ball overthrown. Jack Del Rio, your defense play calling suck, man. I mean, it's notoriously sucking this season right now. And it sucked the year before last. You had a lucky defensive play calling season last year. That first season, you know what I mean? People were still trying to figure out. Once they figured you out and see what you was doing with the Commanders personnel, they're like, okay, they adjust. But guess who didn't adjust? You, Jack Del Rio. You're still garbage, man. You're garbage. You're trash. You need to get up out there. You need your pink slip right away. They just don't have nobody to replace you right now. Nobody on their defensive staff is even worthy of being an interim defensive coordinator. Nobody on that coaching staff is even worthy of being an interim head coach. You know what I mean? Irk Bieniemy, you know, I say this. Last week I said you was mediocre, you know, slightly above mediocre. You're just mediocre now. I'm starting to see that you cannot adjust properly. It takes you a long time to adjust to what the team is doing. And sometimes as the game go along, you get worse. When you're facing good defenses, I notice you don't call great games against good defenses. You know what I mean? It's like you're stubborn. You just a one-trick pony. You want to be in the shotgun all the time. And I get why you want to be in the shotgun, because you feel like Sam Howell has a better opportunity of seeing everything if he's out the gun because of his stature, I guess, or because it could be because of the offensive line. It's fucking horrendous. The offensive line is terrible. Who put that offensive line together? Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera deserves 95% of the blame of why this team is right now putrid. It's why this team right now 4-8. Ron Rivera deserves most of the blame, if not 100% of the blame. He brought in everybody. He brought in the general manager, the president of player personnel. He brought in everybody. Man. He brought in these god-awful Carolina players, and then he's bringing in this god-awful offensive line patchwork players. Ron Rivera deserves all the credit for what's going on right now. He put his whole entire blueprint on this. He would never get a head coaching job in the NFL ever again. He's done. Jack Del Rio would never get a defensive coordinator position ever again. He's done. This guy had two defensive linemen, we had two pass rushers. We went from having two pass rushers to none, right? So you would think Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera, just in case you knew that Chase Young and Montez Sweat, you knew going into the season that there was a chance that you were not going to be able to keep both of them beyond this season, right? So in the draft, you should have drafted a pass rusher. But what you do? You drafted some guys that you got in the 6th, 7th round or whatever the case may be, and hoping hoping that that Chase Young and Montez Sweat was going to have breakout years this year, and that depth piece that you had, you wouldn't really have to rely on it. You know what I mean? The guy Smith Williams, I think he's hurt or whatever. I don't know. I know Abato's hurt. I don't know if Smith Williams is out there or not, because the simple fact, they didn't call his name. So I didn't even know the guy was out there. I do know Tuhill was out there, and Tuhill fell for Dak Prescott read option play. He got suckered all the way in, was going over there to tackle whoever didn't have the ball. Dak Prescott clearly still had the ball. And if he would have recognized that Dak Prescott still had the ball, he would have had an easy sack, or he would have made it hard for Dak Prescott to do something with the football. He would have had to throw away or throw it up for grabs. Either way, this team, defense players, a defense awareness sucks. Nobody out on that defense other than Fuller, other than the 50-year-old Fuller, is worthy of anything. And Fuller's average. You know what I mean? So we got a bunch of average defensive players over there right now. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. I hate to say it, but they might be a little bit overrated, man. They might be a little bit overrated. Terry McLaurin, I'm going to blame it on his toe, on the offensive side of the ball. We know what the defense side of the ball brings, and that's nothing. They are abysmal. They are terrible. I don't, on that defense side of the ball, no offense in the league fears no one on that defense side of the ball. They run up the middle. They run up the sides. They pass all over the Commanders. Commanders had teams in third and long all the time. In fact, I think teams want to be in third and long against the Commanders. They have a better chance of converting third downs. I've never seen a team that give up more third and longs than the Washington Commanders. I've never seen it. I've never seen at a high clip like this. I mean, sure, you may have a team that give up a third and long here and there, maybe once every 5 or 6 games, but the Commanders give up third and long 2 and 3 times a game. In fact, this Cowboy game, they gave up third and longs like 4 or 5 times. That's unheard of. That's on the defense coordinator. That's on the defensive coaches, not putting these players in the right position, not coaching them up. You know what I mean? For those type of moments. You know what I mean? They apparently they're not watching the team, other teams, and what they the type of plays they like to do on third and longs. Apparently they're not watching that, and it's showing out there because they get out coached every single game. I mean, they give up explosive plays every single game, man. I mean, I've never seen this done. And ronrivera, the problem is we're giving up too many explosives. Okay, if you see your team giving up too many explosives, scheme around that. If you know that's a deficiency that other teams are looking to do against your defense, scheme or play a certain style of defense. Play certain coverages that doesn't dictate explosive game plays. If you do that, you could disguise some stuff more better instead of lining up and making your defense predictable. You're one of them old style coaches. You're going to say, I'm going to line up and you guys got to execute. But that don't get it done in today's NFL. That's not good enough, Mr. Jack Del Rio. You're going to have to disguise. You're going to have to do some trickery, fool a team because you deficient that talent. Now, a Baltimore Ravens team or a Pittsburgh Steelers team or a San Francisco 49ers team could just line up in their regular stuff and be like, beat me if you can. We're not going to trick you. We're going to come at you. This is what we're doing. Okay, execute. But our team, we're going to have to do some disguise and some trickery, all type of stuff on defense to try to to slow the team down a little bit. You can't just keep lining up and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do. They know you're not blitzing on first down. They know you're not going to blitz. 3 times out of 10, you're going to blitz on second down. You're not going to blitz, if any, maybe 1 out of 9 times on third down. Out of 10 times on third down. You know what I mean? So they already know this. The quarterback knows he's going to have time to throw the ball on third and long. And when you do blitz, your blitzes are not exotic. They're so predictable. Dak Prescott seeing your blitz coming, he audible and checked up for a protection scheme. And guess what? He almost hit that long ball by doing so. But he overthrew the guy. But he picked up the blitz because he already knew where it was coming from. He called out 57. He was like, 57, Cody Barton. He called him out. He was like, 57, 57. Sure enough, Cody Barton came. Sure enough, they picked it up. They picked it up. And if Cody Barton is blitzing, I'm going to then hot route, go across the middle wide receiver. Sure enough, that's what he did. Your defense is so predictable is what I'm saying, man. They already know where they're going. It's predetermined where they're going at with the football 6 times out of 10 at the line of scrimmage. And if they're not predetermined, then they got time, ample time to survey the field to find a wide open guy. Our secondary can't hold up that long. They can't hold up for 4 seconds. We don't have a pass rush. We're not getting the quarterback off his mark. We only get the quarterback off their mark maybe 3 times a game since Chase Young and Montez Sweat has left the building. I can say this about Chase Young and Montez Sweat. At least they was somewhat getting the quarterback off their mark. Maybe not consistently, but they was doing it at times. And they was getting to the quarterback, but they wasn't wrapping them up. Sometimes they get there and wrap up and get sacks, but most of the time they didn't. So it's neither made us or break us by letting these guys go. But I still would like to have Montez Sweat, But I understand, you're trying to get draft picks. You're trying to get draft capital. I get it. You know what I mean? But at least you could have had something to replace them with. You know what I mean? Instead of wasting a draft pick on, let's say Quan Martin. You could have got a defensive pass rusher right there. Could have got a defensive pass rusher right there. I'm talking about somebody up I think they got Quan Martin in the 3rd or 4th round. You could have got a pass rusher right there. Somebody that can actually rush the passer. You know what I mean? So, it's just so much stuff, man. And then offensively. Terry McLaurin, where are you at? Where are you at, Terry McLaurin? You can't get separation anymore. I'm going to go ahead and blame it on your toe. I'm going to make an excuse for you. It's your toe. I'm going to go ahead and save the day for you. And if it's not your toe, you're failing to get separation, which means is you haven't adjusted what the defense is doing to you. They know your route tree, so they know every move, and they study your tape. They know when you do a move this way, they know where you're going, because they on to you. You are strapped up, man. They got you strapped up. It's like they beating you to the spot. So obviously they know all the route trees that you're running. So irk the enemy. That's my thing. You're now going to have to start motioning Terry McLaurin. You know what I mean? Because you got the Kansas City old playbook, right? So all the teams just going back. Every time they watching the footage, okay, their number 1 wide receiver does these routes. These are all the routes that he does in the route tree. So now, why don't you do this? Why don't you put Terry McLaurin in the slot? Put Curtis Samuel as the number 1 on that side, as the X wide receiver, I want to say. Take Jahan Dotson and put him in the Z spot. You know what I mean? Switch it around some. You know what I mean? And let Terry do some different routes to see if that can get him going. Because putting him in that number 1 slot, I think teams got a beat on what he can do. You know what I'm saying? So switch it up a little bit and put him in motion sometimes. I see you put Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel in motion, but you're not putting Terry McLaurin in motion enough. I think you need to move Terry McLaurin around a little bit. Put him in that slot. You know what I mean? Switch it up a little bit and see what happens, because they're understanding what Terry McLaurin is going to do with those route concepts that you got. They pretty much studied those. The defense coordinator studied, okay, this is what he like to do. This is what they're trying to do this with him. You know what I'm saying? So they already knowing. That's why his production has gone down. If it's not his toe, I'm explaining to you guys why his production is going down. And once you got a beat on somebody and you know what they like to do, and you know what type of route concepts that they're trying to do to get him open, you're going to take that away from him. And that's why life is hard for Terry McLaurin right now. They know the cornerbacks are staying with Terry McLaurin because they know the route trees. They know what he's trying to do when he line up at this spot on a certain down and distances. This wide receiver, particularly an Irby enemy's old offense, this what he like to do with this wide receiver right here. So they already got a lock and a beat on what Irby enemy is doing. He got plenty of tape out there on Andy Reid's offense. You know, he was able to get away with that with Jay Gruden and Scott Turner's offense a little bit. And one thing about Jay Gruden was more creative. You know what I'm saying? He knew how to call plays. So once he see a team, okay, this is how you defended my wide receiver. Okay, now I'm going to do this. That's why a guy like Garcon, Deshaun Jackson, and Jamison Crowder, and even Jordan Reed, they was all putting up big numbers because Jay Gruden know how to utilize those guys. And defense was trying to take them away, so he did other things to get those guys schemed, to get those guys open. And that's what Irby Bieniemy is not doing. He's not scheming stuff for Terry McLaurin to get open. And that's hurting our passing offense. Although Sam Howell is throwing for 300, look at Terry McLaurin's stats. He's throwing it to 9 different players because he had no choice. Because Terry McLaurin is getting strapped up. And he keeps saying in every interview, if you look at, man, we definitely got to get Terry McLaurin the ball. I got to do a better job of getting the ball to Terry. But he's saying, I got to go where the Reid take me to go, where the Reid tells me to go. The way that they playing Terry, it's dictating for Sam Howell to go somewhere else. I mean, just look at the tape. I mean, it's some plays out there where guys are wide open and Sam Howell is missing some guys too. And that interception was uncalled for. The interception was uncalled for. First and foremost, I had a guy unsubscribe told me he was going to unsubscribe. He can't watch me no more. But he didn't come out and say he was going to unsubscribe. He just said, man, I can't watch you no more. It was in the comments, last video that I made comment section. He said, I can't watch you no more because you're too soft on Sam Howell. It's not that I'm soft on Sam Howell. It's the fact that Sam Howell at that particular time only had 12 starts under his belt as an NFL quarterback. So if you know football, you'll know that it's not all Sam Howell's fault. Some of it is his fault because he's a young player developing. Keyword developing. If you fans out there thought that Sam Howell was gonna come in here and look like Aaron Rodgers his first season, you guys are mad, man. You guys' football IQ is below average. You had to know he was gonna come in here and make some rookie mistakes. He's not playing god awful. He's just having a tough time having pocket presence right now and knowing when to throw the ball away, stuff like that, and stop being late on his balls. Most of his interceptions are either tipped or is late. You know what I mean? Now the whatchamacallit game that he threw the New England game when he threw it right to the cornerback, that's inexcusable. I'm not gonna protect him on that one. But some of them other interceptions, even he was trying to make a play out of desperation because the heat was coming on his back. Me personally, I would have just threw the ball away. But Sam Howell is a young player. He's trying to make a play, desperation. He's trying to go for the big play, and it's not there. The defense is saying it's not there. It's dictating that you need to go somewhere else. They won on that play. You let them win on that play, throw the ball out of bounds. Don't reward them with an interception. That's one thing I can say. He's throwing untimely interceptions at the wrong times. You know what I mean? Because he's trying to make that big play. You know, he'll learn from those mistakes. If you get once this coaching staff is gone, we get a real coaching staff in here, a real quarterback guru that I think we should hire, a quarterback guru to sit down and teach Sam Howell how to read defense, how to read different coverages, how to read, pick up different blitz. You know what I mean? Call out different blitz and call out the correct protection packages for these particular blitzes. When you see a linebacker doing this, when you see a safety walking up, call them out. Let them know that you're aware. Let the offensive lineman know, the running back know that to watch out for number 29 walking up for the safety position. Look at 51. He's coming over top of the center. Make sure you got him. You know what I mean? Call them out. Even if they're not coming, you want your guys to be aware and alert. You know what I mean? So he'll know that within the coming once the season over, the coming months, the coming days, the coming weeks, whatever the case may be, he can sit down with a good head coach or a good offensive coordinator or a good quarterback guru, and they could teach him those things so next season when he go into next season, he'll be aware of those type of things, and you'll still see his progression starting to go more and his development starting to speed up, because right now he doesn't have good coaching on his side right now, and that's what's hindering him and allowing him to keep making these dumb interceptions. You know what I'm saying? But he'll get better from it, learn from it just by film study. Once the season is over with, he can go back and he can look at what he did throughout the season and try to get better from it. So I'm still team Sam Howell. You're right. I am going to not bash a first-year player with only 13 starts on his belt. Like I said, you have quarterbacks that was way worse than Sam Howell their first year. You know what I mean? So let's pump the brakes on the Sam Howell hate, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? That game was far over with already when he threw that pick six. That pick six was to me, it was like, why not? Fuck it. Throw a pick six, Sam. Why not? Just add insult to injury. That's what that was, because I know that the guy was just trying to make a play, but he was late on this ball. Everybody was frustrated. It's one of those games, man, where, only thing you could do is learn from it. But I don't think half of these players will be on this team next year. Me personally, myself, I don't think Curtis Samuel will be here next year. Pringle won't be here next year. De'Ami Brown won't be here next year. That wide receiving core is going to look different. I think the two mainstays is going to be Dotson, McLaurin, and that's pretty much it from there. Then you can start building from there. They won't have this many wide receivers next year. I think the average teams only have like maybe 5 to 6 wide receivers. I think we carried like 7 of them, I want to say. I could be wrong. Tight end wise, I don't think Logan Thomas, I think this is his last year of his contract. I don't think he'll be here next season, which deservedly so. He shouldn't. The running backs, I like Rodriguez. Brian Robinson, to me, I keep saying it, man. He's a number 2 guy. He's a goal line guy. He's a good guy. Like if you're like up by like, let's say 2 touchdowns and you want to give him some playing time, yeah, you put him in the game. He's not your every down featured back. He's just not. Yeah, he may have a couple of catches out of the field, but I don't need you to keep catching out the field, backfield. I need you to run the ball, to move the chains, to wear the defense down, stuff like that. I don't need you catching balls out there. I got wide receivers for that. You know what I mean? So my wide receivers need to get open. You know what I mean? So there's so many other things that I can go on about this game, man. The 45-10, and then you have a guy like Dak Prescott after he threw a touchdown pass, a beautiful touchdown pass, by the way, and they just hopping in the Salvation Army bucket. Then you see a guy like Dak Prescott moseying on over the sideline, put his baseball cap on and eating turkey legs, man. He already knew he wasn't going back in the game. The game was over with. The game been over with at halftime, 20-10. That was it right there. But anyway, Dak Prescott could have been ate that turkey leg, you know what I'm saying, if he wanted to. But the fact that he ate it on the sideline like that during the game, it shows the amount of respect that he had for the Washington Commanders, which is a big fat 0. You know what I mean? Laughing and joking, having a good time. Could have called his wife. Could have did a number of things on that sideline after halftime. He didn't even have to come back out. He could have stayed in there, took a shower, and went up to the player suite and had Thanksgiving dinner with his wife and watched the game from the owner suite. I mean, you know what I mean? So he didn't have to come back out there. But it was Thanksgiving. He wanted to give the crowd, the viewers around the world watching, they want to see Dak Prescott. So he had to go back out there because of that. That's the only reason why I came back out there, because the game was already over with. And I knew we weren't going to beat. I told you guys we was going to get beat. I just didn't know the score, but I knew we was going to lose. We don't have the galls to beat a team like the Cowboys, So, and Miami is coming to town, so you already know what's going to happen next week, But I'm going to get about to end this video. My final thoughts on everything is Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio. It's obvious those guys need their walking papers, but I've read something. I don't know if it's true. They're saying that they're gonna let Ron Rivera. They're gonna evaluate him after the season, so it looks like he's gonna stay the remainder of the season. So there you have it. I don't think it's going to be no firing, although we got 10 days to go, but I don't think it's going to be no firing. It's not going to be no firing. Ron Rivera is safe. Oh, I think we got a bye week. I didn't check it, but I think we got a bye week. I want to say we didn't have a bye week yet. I think we got a bye week. So there's plenty of time for them to make a decision, but I doubt it that they're going to fire Ron Rivera. But anyway, you guys, the whole team gets an F- to me. I have nothing else for you guys other than our team is garbage. And our season is done. We're not going to playoffs. Hopefully, Josh Harris do us a favor by getting us a good head coach, a great coaching staff. If we're going to keep some of these players, we're going to need a great coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? To really coach these guys up and put them in the right position. Other than that, that's all I got. Hope you guys had enjoyed your Thanksgiving, because I know I did. And that's why I'm late uploading this video, doing this video and uploading it. Hopefully you guys see this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button. I thank you guys. Peace.